I'm Sarah Thompson. I was 58 when I passed away in a hospital room, holding tight to a picture of my son, Danny. 10 years before that day, he was shot and died during a store robbery. I thought I had let go of my anger toward the person who hurt him, but really, hate was slowly killing me from the inside. My life used to be quiet but happy. I raised Danny by myself because his dad walked out when Danny was little. It was just me and my boy taking on everything together. I had a job answering phones at a medical office in our small town in Ohio. I spent my days taking calls and doing paperwork, but I lived for 5 o'clock when I could go home and be Danny's mom. Danny meant everything to me. When he laughed, it was like music that filled our whole house. He wasn't just well-behaved, he had a good heart. He was going to school to become a history teacher. He wanted to help kids who didn't have much and show them they could do great things no matter where they started. He was everything I was proud of. Then came the worst night of my life. Danny was 22. He had stayed late at the college library studying and stopped at a small store to buy a drink before driving home. He walked right into the middle of a robbery. The guy stealing from the store was just 19 years old. The police said he got scared when he saw Danny and just started shooting. My beautiful boy was gone forever. They caught the young man who did it. His name was Marcus. I went to every single trial. I sat on those uncomfortable wooden chairs and stared at him. I wanted him to feel me watching. I wanted him to hurt even a little bit like I was hurting. I heard the judge give him life in prison, but I felt empty and cold inside. My church friends would hug me and say, "Sarah, you need to forgive him so you can have peace." And I would nod my head. I would say, "I forgive him." I even said it out loud during our Wednesday night prayer meetings. I acted like I had forgiven him, like wearing a mask. But when nighttime came and the house got quiet, I would lie in my bed and feel so angry. It burned inside me like hot poison. I would see Marcus's face from the newspaper photo and pray angry prayers to God. I would ask God why my good son was dead while this bad kid got to keep living and breathing. For 10 years, I lived with this hurt eating me up inside. The anger became part of who I was. It felt like carrying around a cold, heavy rock in my chest. It was there when I woke up and there when I went to sleep. I didn't know it, but that rock was making me sick, quietly killing me. And then one day it finally did. At 58, my heart just stopped working. A huge heart attack hit me. I remember feeling like fire was spreading through my chest. I remember my sister Linda screaming my name. I remember the ambulance people and the bright hospital lights above me. And I remember holding onto that old picture of Danny from his high school graduation, where he was smiling his biggest, brightest smile. Then everything got quiet. The pain went away. The beeping machines got softer and softer. The scared feeling just disappeared. I felt myself floating up gently, like a feather on a warm breeze. I wasn't in my body anymore. I could see the doctors trying to help me and my sister crying, but it felt far away, like watching TV. The gray hospital room faded away. The darkness that came next wasn't scary. It was just quiet, like waiting for something good. Then I saw a light far away. It wasn't too bright or blinding. It was warm and golden. Pulled me toward it not by force but like coming home. I found myself standing in a field. The grass or wheat was the color of honey, moving softly even though there was no wind. The sky was a color I had never seen before, a gentle mix of purple and gold. Everything was perfectly still and quiet, but the quiet felt alive, like it was made of love. Then I heard a voice. It didn't come through my ears. It grew inside my heart, sounding older and more familiar than my own heartbeat. "Sarah." I turned around and saw him. It was Jesus, but he didn't look like the pictures from Sunday school. No long white robe or glowing circle around his head. He was just there, and his being there changed everything around me. It was like finally being able to breathe after holding my breath my whole life. He was wearing simple clothes the color of sand, but he seemed to glow with a soft light from inside, like a gentle candle. He wasn't just looking at me, he was looking into me. His eyes weren't blue or brown. They were the color of pure kindness. When I looked into them, I didn't feel bad about my secret anger. Instead, I saw myself reflected back, but not the tired, broken Sarah. I saw who I was meant to be, whole and strong and full of light. For the first time, I saw myself the way he saw me, and I just started crying. Not sad tears, but tears of relief like I had never felt before. He didn't talk right away. He just stood with me in that perfect quiet. He held out his hand, and when I took it, it wasn't like touching something real. It was like feeling complete, like all the broken pieces of my heart were being put back together perfectly. Warmth from his hand went up my arm and filled my whole body. He smiled, and the whole golden field seemed to get brighter. "Come," he said, his voice like beautiful music in my soul. "There's something you need to see." He led me through the field toward a river. But it wasn't made of water. It was flowing light, clear as crystal, shining and moving like it was alive. It made soft sounds like tiny glass bells ringing. I stood on the edge just looking at how beautiful it was, feeling the last 10 years of hurt starting to wash away. Then I looked across the river and my heart almost stopped. It was him. It was Danny, my son. He was standing on the other side and he looked perfect. He was glowing and healthy. He wore a simple white shirt and was laughing with his head back just like he used to when he heard something funny. He looked so happy and full of life. Couldn't breathe. "Danny!" I screamed his name, my voice shaking with tears. "My boy!" He turned and his smile was brighter than the sun. "Mom!" he called back and waved. His whole face lit up with love. My heart felt like it would burst with joy. I wanted to run and jump into that river of light and hug my son again. But then I saw someone standing next to him. Another young man was beside Danny with his hand on Danny's shoulder. They were smiling at each other like good friends. I squinted, trying to see his face clearly. Something about him looked familiar. My stomach got tight with worry. Jesus squeezed my hand gently. "Look closer, Sarah." I looked harder and felt like the ground disappeared under me. The face of the young man standing next to my son, laughing with my son, was Marcus, the boy who killed him. I stumbled backward. I wanted to scream but couldn't. Couldn't breathe. This couldn't be right. It was all wrong. He was supposed to be in jail. He was supposed to be suffering. He was a killer. What was he doing here? What was he doing next to my son? I turned to Jesus, my eyes crazy with confusion and that old anger coming back. "No," I whispered, shaking my head. "No. Why is he here? He doesn't belong here. He killed my baby." Tears poured down my face, hot and angry. All the peace I had felt just seconds before was gone, replaced by a storm of pain. Jesus looked at me, his eyes not judging me, but full of deep sadness for me. His voice was gentle, but the truth in it was strong as a mountain. "He called out to me in prison, Sarah," he said softly. 5 years after he was sent there, he fell on his knees on the cold floor of his cell and cried. He was sorry. He gave his life to me. He is my child now, too. The words hit me harder than a punch. I couldn't accept it. It wasn't fair. Being punished was supposed to mean he paid for what he did for his whole life. "But my son," I choked out. "Look what he did to my son." Across the river, Danny looked at me. His smile was gone, but his face was full of gentle love. He looked at Marcus and then back at me. He nodded, like he was telling me something without words. "Your son forgave him the moment he got here," Jesus said, his voice washing over me like water. "Danny's heart was free. But you, my daughter, you have been the one in jail. You have been trapped by anger for 10 years. I fell to my knees in the golden grass. It was true. A cry came from deep in my body, a sound of pain from the deepest part of my soul. I had lied to my friends, to my church, to myself. I had never really forgiven him. I had held on to my hate like it was something precious, like it was the only thing that kept Danny's memory alive. I thought my anger honored him, but it had only been poison, dragging my own soul into darkness. I didn't know how. I cried, my face in my hands. I tried. I said the words, but my heart was so full of hate. I couldn't let it go. Jesus knelt beside me. He didn't touch me, but I felt him around me like a warm blanket. "Forgiveness isn't a feeling, Sarah," he said. "It's a choice. It's the key that opens your own cage. It doesn't make what he did okay. It doesn't take away the pain. It sets you free. He gently put his hand over my heart. I could feel something strange and cold deep inside my chest. It was the bitterness. It felt like a twisted ball of black thorns, and I realized I had been carrying it for so long, I had forgotten what it felt like without it. "Watch what happens when you really choose to forgive," he whispered. I took a shaky breath. I looked across the river at Marcus's face. For the first time, I didn't see a monster. I saw a scared kid who made a terrible, life-changing mistake. I saw a soul that Jesus had chosen to save. And I saw my own son standing beside him, waiting. "I forgive him," I whispered. And this time I meant it. I said it again, louder. "I forgive you, Marcus." The moment those words left my mouth, something happened inside me. The black ball of thorns in my chest broke apart. It didn't just melt away. It exploded into a million pieces of dust. And where it had been, warm, bright light poured in, filling every empty, broken space inside of me. It was light so pure and full of peace and joy that I gasped. I could breathe. I could really, truly breathe for the first time in 10 years. The weight was gone. The rock was gone. I was light. I was free. Across the river, Danny's face broke into that beautiful smile again, and he started running. He ran right into the river of light, and it didn't slow him down. He came splashing through it, and the light stuck to him like sparkling diamonds. He ran right to me and threw his arms around me. I held my son. I held my boy. I buried my face in his shoulder and could smell that familiar scent of him. That mix of clean clothes and sunshine that I thought I had forgotten. I was home. "Mom," he whispered in my ear, his voice full of love. "I've been waiting for you to let go." I cried, but they were tears of pure happiness now. I held him tight and never wanted to leave. I looked at Jesus, who was smiling at both of us. "Can I stay?" I begged him. "Please, I want to stay here with him." It was the only thing I wanted, to stay in this peace, in this light with my son forever. The thought of going back to that broken world, to that hurt body, was too much to bear. Jesus' smile was kind, but his eyes showed gentle purpose. "Your work on earth isn't finished, Sarah." "But what work?" I asked, holding on to Danny. "I have nothing left." "You have your story," he said. "There are other hearts trapped just like yours was. They are stuck in jails of their own making, weighed down by bitterness and not forgiving. You have held the key in your hand. Now go show them how to use it." He looked at me with so much love, and I knew he was right. Danny kissed my forehead. "It's okay, Mom. I'll be right here waiting. It's not goodbye. Just see you later." He let go of me, and the light of the field began to fade. The beautiful, ringing sound of the river got quieter. I felt that gentle pull again, but this time it was pulling me back, away from the light, away from my son. "I love you, Danny," I cried out. "I love you too, Mom." His voice echoed back as the darkness came again. The next thing I knew, I was gasping for air, a violent, painful gasp. My chest felt like it had been hit by lightning. The lights above me were blinding. I heard someone yell, "We have a heartbeat. She's back." My eyes opened slowly. I was in the hospital room. A doctor was shining a light in my eyes. My sister was crying and holding my hand. I was alive. I just started crying. Not from pain or from sadness about leaving my son. I was crying from relief, from freedom. The nurses thought I was upset from what happened. They didn't understand that I had just left heaven. The doctors told me I had been dead for 11 minutes. They couldn't explain how I came back with no brain damage. They called it a miracle. I knew it was more than that. It was a message. Jesus sent me back to tell you what I saw. He sent me back to tell you that forgiveness isn't about letting someone get away with something bad. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. Holding on to bitterness, anger, and hate doesn't punish the person who hurt you. Punishes you. It's like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. It's like building a cage for yourself, piece by painful piece. I know someone watching this right now is holding on to pain so deep you think it will destroy you if you let it go. You think your anger is all you have left, but it's not. It's the one thing standing between you and getting better. It's the one thing blocking the light. Jesus showed me that his love is big enough to cover everyone, even the people we think can never be forgiven. And he showed me that forgiveness isn't just an idea. It's a doorway. It's the way out of the prison of your past and into a life of peace. You don't have to feel it to do it. You just have to choose it. Just whisper the words. Let the key turn in the lock. Let go. Let the light in. He's waiting for you.